I've gotten to go to India 5 times with our church as a part of the work of the India Gospel League. And the India Gospel League does many, many things for the people in India. The most important thing that they do is they teach people about Jesus, and they plant churches. And that's what their foundation is. But they also do medical outreach, and they work with rural people in villages, teaching them skills. And the area that I'm the most interested in is their work with children. And I've been able to witness the things that they do with children during the trips that I've been able to take there. And I know a lot of you know Erin Stottlemyre, and she was able to come with us on the most recent trip and see the children. And the first thing that sticks out in my mind when I think about the children of the India Gospel League is the joy that they have. Children in India, some are very well off, and many children have nothing at all. And the children who are under the care of the India Gospel League have very little, but they have the love of Jesus, and they learn about Christ, and that is totally transforming to them. And we were just sent out some testimonies, and there was a testimony of a little girl. Actually, she's a ninth grader, and her name is Indu, and she came to the Hebron home. And when she came there, she didn't know about Jesus because she had come from a Hindu family. And she became a Christian while she was there, and was able to be cared for, and learned about Jesus. And at home one day, her brother was accidentally given kerosene to drink, and the doctors said there was just no hope and they couldn't do anything for him. Indu, this ninth grade girl, prayed for her brother, and he was miraculously healed. And the way that she learned about Jesus was through the India Gospel League. Now, one thing you can do for the India Gospel League is you can sponsor a child, and that might be something you're able to do when you have a job, when you're older. My husband and I have the privilege of sponsoring 4 children in the India Gospel League, and this is 3 of them that live in the Sharing campus. This boy's name is Nanda Kumar, and he would be about your age. This is Navina, she's younger than you, and this is Jugan, and he's your age also. And each of these kids have a family and a story, and we hear from them, we get letters, and the money that you are able to raise for the India Gospel League can do so many things. I have a brochure that tells all the different things. It could do something like buy a craft kit for a girl like Navina, or it could buy a cricket ball, a football for one of these boys. Money also could go to buy benches or desks for a daycare center or a school, or money to even build a house that these kids can stay in. So even for $10, you can pay for a child to have meals for a month in India. So I just want to thank you so much for caring about people beyond those that you know. And I would love to welcome you to India to take a trip there, or to Haiti or Russia, or even down to the Miriam Project in Dove Harbor, and just become involved in whatever God would have you to do with the people of this world. Thanks a lot.
Okay, last summer I went to India on a Children's Summit week, and I was there for 10 days, and I got to stay in one of the children's homes with all the kids. There were about 8 of us that went, and we were there to look into all the orphanages and children's homes that they had, and just to see how different they were from organizations that we have for kids here, and just different ways that we could help them improve. I ended up learning a lot from them when we were supposed to be helping them. And I got to stay at the children's home, and that was an incredible experience, just to see that these kids who had nothing, they didn't have toys to play with, they didn't have all of the possessions that we have, but they were so happy and joyous. And they would get up at 5 and go to an open-air chapel, and they would sit and pray for an hour. Like, these 3- and 4-year-olds would sit and pray for hours, which is more than I pray a day, and that amazed me. But they just had so much love to give, and they didn't have a mom and a dad there to give love to them, and it broke my heart just to see that they were so happy in the midst of what they were going through. And going through the streets of India and driving through was hard to see too, just seeing the poverty and the people walking through the streets. The widows are treated so badly, the women are treated badly, and widows are just standing on the corners begging for food because if you don't have a husband there, you're not worth anything to them. And that broke my heart. But they also have a ministry for that. And so it gave me hope while I was there because I saw all these things that are breaking this country and they're breaking the people, but the India Gospel League gave them hope. The last thing we did while we were there, before we took off on our flight, was going to a leprosy feeding. And it was hard to see, but we got to put a service on for them and we got to speak. And I get a little nervous when I speak in front of people, but I got up and I got to share with them and have a translator, and that was an incredible experience. And then afterwards we fed them a meal, and a man, he had a baby and he was raising this baby by himself with his sisters. He didn't have any arms, and so he couldn't hold the baby and eat at the same time, and so I got to hold the baby for him, and she was precious, and I held her for an hour and a half, and when he came back, he was crying and told the translator to tell me to take the baby with me, and even though you could see how much he loved her, he wanted a better life for her, just because he knew that she wouldn't have opportunities and hope. So that was really hard, but it was incredible to see how much love he had for her and how much he wanted for his daughter. So the India Gospel League was just an incredible experience to see what hope they give to those people.